If you guys are ready to 25x your money, turning $10 into $250 with this 6-pick PrizePicks entry, then I have just the video for you. My name is Matt Modi for recording this on behalf of Daily Grind Fantasy using their DFS optimizer to find all of these plays to put into the PrizePicks entry. When we get all 6 correct, we will 25x our money. So using the DFS optimizer on Daily Grind Fantasy is incredibly easy. They have everything pretty much mapped out for you. The far left, player name, that's literally the player that you are going to take the pick on. The stat is what you are taking. So, and then the next one, O/U, is just whether you're taking the over or the under. And then we have the PrizePicks line versus the sportsbook line. Now, these next 4, the PrizePicks line, the sportsbook line, the percent odds to hit, and the DGF line are all very, very important, which we will get into when talking about our picks. So the first one, we're taking Tierra McCowan to go more than 20.5 points, rebounds, assists. So player name, Tierra McCowan. Stat, points, rebounds, assists. We're taking over 20.5. Now here's where we get to the important stuff. The sportsbook line. This pulls the numbers, the stats, whatever you want to call it, where the sportsbooks price the over-under. So we are taking the over 20.5. The reason why is because the sportsbooks price it at 22.5. So we can automatically assume just from this information that the sportsbooks are telling you that the more likely scenario is that she goes over 20.5 because they price it 2 stats higher at 22. Now these next 2 columns we see here, percent odds to hit in the DGF line. Basically the way it works is Daily Grind Fantasy calculates the perfect line of what they deem to be for a market. So in this case, we're getting this at minus 185. You convert that into a percent with a win percentage of roughly 60.85%. Basically saying Tierra McCowan has about a 60, just below 61% chance of going over 20.5 points, rebounds, assists. This number is pulled from a bunch of different factors where all the sportsbooks are pricing a line, looking at the sharp sportsbooks, and then applying percentages and differences when there are different lines, such as this. Now, this type of example where the PrizePicks line and the sportsbook line differ is shown by this box here, show DFS line discrepancies. Having this button selected is showing us examples such as this. So this is play number 1, Tierra McCowan over 20.5 points, rebounds, assists. Next up, play number 2, we are looking at an esports play. We're taking Palafox to go less than 3 map 1 kills. We see that play listed right here. Palafox under 3 map 1 kills. This is another example of a line discrepancy between PrizePicks and the sportsbooks. PrizePicks has this at 3. The sportsbooks have it at 2.5. Now, one thing that I do want to highlight is the lower the numbers become, the more meaningful the differences between the PrizePicks and the sportsbook line becomes as well. Like going from 3 to 2.5, that's a huge deal. That half-point difference is a huge deal. Now, if we're talking football, player passing yards, PrizePicks has Mahomes at 299.5. The sportsbooks have it at 300.5. Well, or 300, whatever it may be. That small difference isn't nearly as impactful because the numbers are so high. So don't let, it's a half-point difference from 2.5 to 3. Don't let that deter you because that's a massive difference. That's literally, if you, depending on how you want to actually apply the percentages, like 25% difference between 3 and 2.5. So DGF is giving this, pricing it at minus 157, giving us a win percentage of 55.67%. Generally, you want to stay in the plays that are green. We see as I go lower, they start to get a little bit lower shade of green, then we start seeing yellow. Basically, for a 6-pick entry, you want to stay above roughly the 54.3% mark. Based on the payout of a 6-pick entry, that's kind of where your profitability is at the highest, anywhere above. Like the 54.5 really is what you want to call it, what we can call it. So that's play number 2, this esports one. Next up, we have another esports play, and we're taking Armal to go less than 3 map 1 kills. It's pretty similar, almost the exact same logic here. PrizePicks has this at 3. The sportsbooks have this at 2.5. DGF is pricing this at minus 157, converting this to a win percentage of 55.67%. Pretty much the exact same in terms of the value for these 2 plays. Now I have two more esports one, and then I have a WNBA one. We can get to the next esports one. Shiganari to go less than 3.5 map 1 kills. Similar logic here. PrizePicks prices this at 3.5. The sportsbooks price this at 3. So we're taking the under map 1 kills stat of Shiganari. PrizePicks pricing this at minus 152, converting this to a win percentage just below 55%. That's our fourth play, excuse me. So this next one, our fifth play, we're taking Yeon to go more than 3.5 map 1 kills. So this is actually not an example of a line discrepancy because we're taking over 3.5. The sports books have it at 3.5 as well. So this is just an example where DGF is pulling lines where all the sports books price the over under 3.5 map 1 kills. And the sports books are heavily favoring him to go over. So that makes it a good play to put on PrizePicks. Even though they're at the same number, DGF is pulling their true line of this at minus 143, giving this a win percentage of 54.68%. So it's not a line discrepancy. This would just be an odds discrepancy, a pricing discrepancy, because the sports books that are pricing this are telling us that Yeon is highly likely to go over 3.5 map 1 kills. So they're charging extra juice for it, which PrizePicks doesn't do, which makes it a good play to put into an entry, right? If the sports books are telling you that a play is likely to hit, that means it's good on PrizePicks. That is our fifth pick, and our last one is our last second WNBA play. We're taking Aaliyah Boston to go less than 18 points. That play is up here. This is another example of a line discrepancy. PrizePicks has this at 18. The sportsbooks have it at 17.5. So DGF is giving this to us, or telling us, I should say, that this should be priced at about minus 150 with a 55.73% win percentage. And that rounds out our 6 picks for this entry. So if you're tailing, if you're riding with me, comment and let me know. Other than that, remember to like the video, subscribe to the DGF YouTube channel. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good one.